Hello everyone, my name is Owen. I'm an occupational therapy student working with the Arizona Technology Access Program. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the PlayStation Access Controller. This is the accessibility controller that Sony has made for the PlayStation 5. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to connect a PlayStation Access controller to your PS5, a little bit about the software inside of the PlayStation system and how that interacts with the access controller. And then we'll show two access controllers working with each other and also an access controller and a standard PS5 controller being able to work at the same time. So this is your PlayStation access controller. The buttons are arranged in a circular pattern that can be customized on the controller and within the software of the PlayStation 5. The joystick is adjustable and can be moved closer to or further from the controller. There is a profile button that allows you to change which software profile you're in, and a PlayStation button that allows you to access menu features. 4 external switch locations that allows you to put 3.5mm jack switches that can increase the accessibility that users have. So now I'm going to show you how to connect your access controller to your PlayStation 5, and I'm going to use the one on the right. So this one hasn't been connected to a PlayStation before, so you're going to want to plug in the USB-C cable to the back port and then turn on the controller. Since this is a new controller, I have to update the controller, and I just hit the X button, which is the center one, out of the box. So we're just going to wait for this to update. And the access controller is connected. Now, since this PlayStation registers 2 access controllers, we can use both access controllers, which will give us 8 total switches and the ability to have 2 joysticks and remap all the buttons on the access controllers. There are lights on the access controller that will let you know which controller is which one. So the one that has 1 light is going to be the one on my left, and then the one that has 2 lights is going to be the access controller on my right. And you can edit the names of your access controllers and create profiles that will be saved to your PlayStation 5 and the access controller. So I'm going to change profile slot 2 here. And then I'm going to hit edit. So as you can see, I'm just going to select that I'm going to update or edit the new access controller, the one on my right. And the circle around the center X button is labeled. So they have a corresponding number of slots. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around. And we're going to go ahead and assign the triangle button to slot 3. So they're also labeled on the physical controller as well, so then you can put in a label that they give you with the access controller that will say, hey, this is my triangle button. So you can select that, and then now that's paired to the triangle button. There's also something that you can do, which is called assign a simultaneous press, and there's also toggle buttons. So for a simultaneous press, in some games you have to hit 2 buttons at the same time, and that could be difficult for someone to hit 2 buttons at the same time, whether it be motor planning issues or any physical limitations. So you can assign 2 buttons at the same time as that singular button so a player can access it. Now you can assign which joystick you'd like the controller to represent. So since this is the one on my right, I'm just going to put assign the joystick as a right joystick. And then you can push the stick down, and that serves as another input as well. And there's a bunch of different options you can put for that. And you can make these buttons toggle, so you have to press it and it turns on the input, and then press it again and it turns off the input. And you also can customize the expansion ports. So those are those slots where your external switches will go and allow you to customize the controller or put switches in accessible places for the user. And then you also can set the controller orientation. So which way are you going to have the controller facing so that when the user is using it, so then it helps kind of calibrate the joystick. So you can also customize the joystick sensitivity in the dead zones. The higher you put the dead zone, or the further right you put the dead zone, the more you have to move the joystick in order to get an input or for the controller to register an input. And then you can also make the controller more sensitive. So if you have a user that cannot move the joystick as far, you can make it more sensitive. Or if you have someone who has trouble with fine motor coordinations, you can change it and make it less sensitive. And they also put in these auditory cues to kind of help you determine when an input is being made rather than just moving the stick around. So we're going to go ahead and save that. Okay, we're going to turn off the second access controller. And now we're going to connect a normal DualShock 5 controller. So if someone can access part of a controller but needs the access controller to assist with accessing some of the other parts, they can use that as well. So now we have both controllers connected, and I have this setting called Use Assist Controller on. And so either another player, a caregiver, a family member can use that second controller to assist the user, or if the user can access part of a standard controller but needs maybe a couple of extra external switches, or can only access half the controller and they have to use the access controller for the other half of the game, they can do that. So here I'm just going to show both the access controller and a normal controller being used at the same time to play Spider-Man. So I can use the access controller to jump, and I am hitting the R2 button with my finger, and then I'm able to control the camera with my right hand and then hit the X button with my left hand. So you can get really creative and put switches anywhere that the user needs to promote access and optimize where their button layouts are with external switches. But this is just kind of a brief demonstration of how you can use both of those together. Okay, that was a brief video, kind of just showing some of the basics of the PlayStation Access controller. It's pretty easy to navigate through the menus of the PlayStation to kind of customize the access controller for what the individual user needs. If you have any questions regarding the PlayStation Access controller or any other gaming needs or goals, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at our email at the aztapgamingclinic@nau.edu. Visit our website at aztap.org/adaptivegamingclinic, or by phone at 602-728-9501 or 1-800-477-9921. Thank you for watching this video.